coin is going to get crushed today. Do either one of you own it? Stephanie, do you own it, or you follow it?
I don't. I follow it, and I think this is a very interesting buying opportunity, actually. I don't own it yet, but I might next time we talk.
And you actually said that if you're going to try to play crypto, this is the way you play it. Why? Why not just buy? You wouldn't buy. You've never bought Bitcoin? You've never gone into Ethereum? Either one?
No. I mean, it's just too volatile for me. And look, this is very volatile, too. But
by
look,
volatile,
90% of their revenue...
By volatile, you mean 2,000 to 70,000 is too volatile for you? That's pretty good volatility.
2,000 to 70,000 to 30,000, back up to 70. But that's what's good for Coinbase, right? They want the volatility. They want, obviously, higher prices in crypto for sure. And by the way, that's why third quarter was so weak, was because crypto prices did fall, and they had a mix shift in terms of Coinbase Pro, which they pay lower fees. So I get that, but that's in the past. The fourth quarter guide, Joe, was pretty good. They said they're off to a really good start. Crypto prices are higher. Volatility is higher. They actually kind of raised the monthly transaction users for 4Q. That's why I think it's kind of interesting. They embrace the volatility, and that's why, and they think they should benefit. And that's why I think it's sort of a buying opportunity here. Let's let the dust settle for a few days, but I think it's very interesting.
Okay, and Greg, just let's go back to the beginning. What coin? Do you own it? Do you like it? Did you buy any Bitcoin? Are you, did you buy I don't know, a helicopter or something with your profits?
Not an owner, Joe, but my thoughts are very similar. This is probably a unique opportunity. It is, in fact, the volatility is, in fact, good within a range. Whenever we see severe price action to the downside, as we saw in August following the currencies, that tends to dampen transaction volume and user growth, both concurrently and with a lagging effect. And so we'll probably still see a bit of impairment in November as that recovered. But again, this should, if you have a positive view on the currency, the underlying currencies, this should have a high correlation to that. I'd add to that they have some of their own positive catalysts to look forward to as they bring on other digital assets, as they bring on other cryptos onto the platform. That should drive trading volumes and user growth. And lastly, as the attitudes, as this becomes more institutionalized, I should say, some of that volatility and some of those severe price swings will abate, and we won't see that. And so we'll tend not to see these quarters where, even though this was probably quite predictable, where we won't see so much of the swings and so much of the unanticipated misses.
Back to Steph, and then I'll come back to you on this, Greg. We would just go over the EV stuff. I mean, yesterday there were features all over. Self-driving was one of the big stories yesterday, and how you get there. We've got a different car maker. There's a different vehicle parked outside my window almost every day. But let's start with Tesla, Steph. And would you buy this based on the weakness on what Elon Musk has been talking about doing?
Well, the stock is up 47% year to date, and it's doubled in the past year. And it's hard to value it at this point, but the total addressable market for EV in general is enormous. It's 7% global share today. It was 4% last year. It's going to be 34% of the global market by 2034. So you want to have some sort of exposure. And I think this Rivian deal is sort of it really is interesting, just because you have the backing of Amazon and Ford. Amazon gets them data collection. Ford gets them auto expertise. Obviously, the interests from both companies into Rivian, super interesting. They have a 55,000 backlog of pre-orders already, and the valuation, if you look at Rivian at the new price, it's about $66 billion in valuation. Lucent's at 74, Ford is at 79, and Honda is at 53. So it's right in there. So that's the one I'm kind of looking at. It's sort of interesting. Let's see how it trades today, though.
Same question, same space that we're talking about, Greg?
Right. So I come at valuation through a bit of a different angle. In order to justify a $66 billion valuation, not to mention that they just burned through $1.6 billion of cash, you'd have to assume that they're going to get about 800,000 units or so in 2025, which applying Tesla-like margins to it yields about $14 billion in gross profit, which puts them at about a 3.6, 3.7 times multiple, which is not far above Ford. But the key thing is you have to believe that they're going to get to 800,000 vehicles by 2025. I think that that's ambitious, probably not out of the realm of possibility, but it underscores that what we're really looking for is to see who those number 2, 3, and 4 players are going to be in this market behind Tesla. Have to remind people that this is not necessarily a direct competitor, as they're focused on the van, SUV, and truck market. But coming out at $66 billion is pretty aggressive.